Another one is harmlessness. Avihayasa, compassion. So if you have a hatred in your mind, you cannot really compassion to the people who are in suffering, or who are in a difficult situation, right? So therefore, loving kindness and compassion are the opposite of dosa. So among the Noble Eightfold Paths, the first one is right view, right? The right view. The right view is the opposite of moha. Because you don't have a moha or delusion or ignorance. So therefore, you have a right view. So the first three, the right view, right intentions, talk about amoha, adosa, amoha, aloba, adosa, right? Adosa. Here, what I want to say is the right intention in the Noble Eightfold Path is a vitaka, right? A bad, a positive side of vitaka. You can look at this one with a right view. You have because of right view, you have a right intention. So if you have a right intention, and you will have right speech and right actions, right speeches and right actions. This is the Noble Eightfold Path, the man, the Noble Eightfold Path, a very beautiful one, right? So if you do not have right understanding or right view, then you don't have a right intention or right thought. So if you don't have a right thought in your mind, your speeches, your action will go wrong, right? So therefore, Buddhism always teaches that the right view is very important. Samadhi, right? Right view is nothing but the opposite of moha, right? Moha. So therefore, even less Thursday class, I told the class, as a Buddhist, what we have to do is only one thing: to remove lobha, dosa, moha. Any suttas you read, the ambition is this one, right? Here also we are learning Abhidhamma using Abhidhamma Sangha. So the first thing we learn is akusala, right? 12 akusala cheda. Lobha, dosa, moha, right? Here also we are learning, but not here. Later, this is a command to the others, right? So these are very command, but later we have to learn wholesome mental factor and unwholesome mental factor. So these are very important ones. So here, the thinking or intention have a two type: a wrong intention and right intention, right? So what is different between thought and attention? Thought, we take up mounts the mind onto the object. We drive the mind onto the object, toward the object. Attention, make sure that the mind go to that object. Attention, make sure that not to the mind is not to sidetrack to other directions, right? So therefore, attention is more common. Attention associated with any type of consciousness. But thought sometimes does not associate with certain type of consciousness. So among them, jhana, right? Second jhana. The second jhana, you don't need vitaka, because even without vitaka, you still have attention, right? Attention. So here, I will give one example. Sending the army to the battlefield is similar to vitaka, right? The army is similar to the mind. The army is a vitaka. The battlefield is the object, right? You send the army to the battlefield. The marching toward the enemies. So when they arrive at the battlefield, they march. The army march to the enemies, right? So here, this is manasikara. Attention, direct the mind toward the object so as not to sidetrack into other directions. So when we send the army to the battlefield, it may direct to other direction, right? Other place. But when they arrive at the battlefield, they march toward the enemies. That is manasikara. Then ordering the soldiers to kill the enemies, that is cetana, right? Cetana motivate. The general at the battlefield trying to order the soldiers to kill the enemies. That's cetana, right? So therefore, when we learn about cetana, we give the example of the commander-in-chief, right? Commander-in-chief at the battlefield, he trying to tell the soldier, order the soldier, right, to kill. So therefore, the commander-in-chief is responsible for everything. So therefore, cetana is responsible for everything. So that is different between vitaka and manasikara. That is very different, right? But here, not too much different. But when you attain jhana, became very, very different, right? So when you are very, when you are, master in the jhana, the first jhana, you begin to notice the danger of vitaka, right? The danger of vitaka. So you trying to get rid of the vitaka. Any question? Okay.
Why some commentaries say by chanting Itipisu you can get jhana? Let's chant the verse of Itipisu for some time, or months, you will reach jhana, first jhana.
Chanting the first jhana, right? But actually the commentary mentioned that if you recollect the 9 attributes of the triple gems, the quality of the triple gems, will not achieve any attainment. Just assess concentration. Commentary said that I don't know, outside if you concentrate only one quality of the Buddha, you might attain the first jhana. Don't know, but not all the commentaries said that you cannot attain jhana when you chant, or when you not chanting, contemplating, right? Of course, by chanting you can contemplate your soul. By contemplating the quality of the triple gem, you cannot attain any jhana. Just assess concentration. Upachara samadhi. The reason is the quality of the triple gems are so many, right? So the mind cannot control many objects. Another one is two reasons. So the first reason is we have so many qualities. So you cannot control, right? You cannot focus many objects. And another one is the quality of triple gems are very, very deep, right? Just like you cannot stand on the ocean. So therefore, when you are contemplating the quality of triple gem, you cannot attain any jhana. Just assess concentration or door to the jhana. Only door. You cannot open the door. Just standing at the door. The commentary said like this. I don't know actually. But of course, if you just focus on the sound, right? It will be supporting factor to attain jhana, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Examination, vichara. Vichara is a sustained application of the mind on the object. It keeps the mind, the continuous exercise on the objects in a way of examining. So now you are listening what I am explaining, right? That you bring your mind, what I am explaining, the object of my voice, right? Then you keep on exercise what Bandit is talking, what I am talking. That is vichara. So you bring your mind to the object, the sound is vitaka. But you examine, right? You examine what is it. That is vichara. Continuous exercise on the object, right? On the object. So when you are practicing breathing meditation, right? Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. So your mind might go many places, here and there, right? Then you bring back your mind to the in-breath and breathing. Breathing is your object. The bringing the mind to the object is vitaka. Then later on, your mind, your concentration, you can focus on your breathing. Then when you breathe in long, you know that you're breathing long. When you breathe in short, you know that your breathing is short, right? So that is vichara level. Examining, right? Examining. So when your mind is going here and there, you cannot examine, right? You have to bring back your mind to the breathing, the object. That's vitaka. So when concentration is deeper and deeper, you are able to examine the breathing. What is breathing look like? Is it soft, or it is rapid, or it is short or long, right? It is cold or hot, like this. You're trying to examine. That is vichara. Vichara take the mind to the object. Vitaka take the mind to the object. Put the mind on the object. That's vitaka. Vichara keep the mind on that object and trying to anchor there, trying to stay there, hovering over it, right? Hovering over it is a vichara. So if you look at the example, I think it will be quite clear. So vitaka is just like a bee diving toward a flower, right? That is the first picture that I have shown. So vichara is like the bees hovering over it, going around the flower, right? This flower is full of, what is it? Nectar, right? Or nectar, like this. So you're trying to examine, right? Looking at the flower, that's vichara. Also sometimes, so when we are breathing, so we stay near the breathing, right? So our mind is not going anywhere. That's vichara. According to Abhidhamma, if we attain second jhana, we still have vichara, right? So vichara examine the breathing. So that is the difference between vitaka and vichara. I think not difficult, right? Not difficult. So only when you have a deeper level of concentration, you'll be able to differentiate between these two, right? The difference between these two is very important. So when you attain jhana, right? When you attain jhana. And number 3, decision, atimauka. So the word atimauka literally means that the releasing of the mind onto the object, or freeing the mind onto the object, dropping the mind onto the object, right? So when you, it is translated as a decision. It is the opposite of doubt, right? So when you have a doubt, you do not know what it is, right? So only your decision, you know, this is the human being, this is the dog, like this, right? So you have a decision. So therefore, decision does not associate with the doubt. It decides what the object is. Making decision to do either good or bad deed is a Dhamma. So owing to its unshakable nature, it is compared as a firm stone pillar. So when you see the object, then you have decision in your mind. Then only you know what is it, right? Then you know that it's just like a firm stone pillar. It cannot be moved, right? It cannot be moved. So therefore, it is a decision, a Dhamma. According to Abhidhamma, the blind faith also considered as a Dhamma. Here, according to Abhidhamma, we have a faith, right? Faith associated only with the wholesome consciousness. So actually, when we talk about blind faith, that is a Dhamma, right? A Dhamma. So there are two general items. We don't need to explain too much, right? Next one is energy or effect. I think you know this one. Energetic mental effect to do something. So this way, it will support all associated mental factor not to collapse. So energy, we need energy, right? To stand. We need energy to sit down. Just like that. So we need energy to do something. So it will support all the associated mental factors not to collapse. It's compared as a supporting timber that reinforces the old house not to collapse. It's direct enemy of laziness. In the quite clear. And the mental fact, in the mind process, so our mind is not, we don't have energy, though we have a bhavanga, right? The napta bhavanga, mind adverting, the mind or switch open, right? The mind is not powerful enough. The unconsciousness, not powerful enough. Still weak. Then receiving, investigating, even receiving, not powerful enough. But only after determining, associate with vidya. Right? So only at the point of determining the object, the mind became energetic. So I think when we learn about how many type of how many chetas does vidya associate with, so we will know it. So only vidya associate only 73 type of consciousness, right? So when we learn this one, we will know it. So the mind became powerful enough. So when we determine the object, right? So that is the energy, mental energy, right? Mental energy. Next one is zest or piti. So we have explained in the jhana as well, right? Piti is a joy or a delight in the object. The object can be good or bad, right? It generates a pleasurable interest in the object. Only you have a joy in the object, then you have an interest, right? So actually, piti is sometimes translated as a pleasurable interest. So you come to class because you find it piti here, right? Without piti, you cannot come. You have not only interest, but also you delight to do it. That is the power of piti, right? Piti. So it joins in the object. So when piti is present in the mind, it refreshes the mind and body. If you don't have piti, your mind and body is not fresh, right? So therefore, piti is very important. Wherever you do, we need piti. So therefore, when we attain jhana, right, together with the piti. So because of this piti, we are able to sit down for many hours, right? So when you meditate, it can be a hindrance to go to higher level of spiritual achievement. 3 years ago, I met with one of the students. Actually, I think that he have a very deep level of meditation, and he might even get some jhana, because he sit down for 2 hours. For him, 2 hours is very short. Sit down and get up, just like that. But he said that he asked question. So he have a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure in his meditation. Actually, when I teach the 4th jhana and the 5th jhana in the Abhidhamma, so as you know, when we want to attain the 5th jhana, so we have to drop piti, right? If you still have attachment to the piti, you cannot attain the 4th jhana, the 5th jhana, right? So therefore, sometimes a piti can be a hindrance to go to higher level of spiritual achievement. So therefore, some people have a piti or joy in meditation, right? So they enjoy meditation. For them, they have a lot of piti in their meditation because they find enjoyment there. So if they have attachment to those experiences, especially a joy in the meditation, they cannot go to next level. So therefore, piti is one of the hindrance of insight meditation, a defilement of insight meditation in higher level, right? So when the visit level, of course, we need a lot of piti. Only with a piti, then you'll be able to do for a long time, right? For a long time. But in a higher level, so if you just stick to join in the objects, you cannot let go, right? You cannot go to next level. Just like that, so that piti also can be a stumbling block for future progress in our life. So suppose you're working in one company, you like it, you enjoy working there, right? Then you don't want to go next step. That joy or piti is a stumbling block for your progress. So at the basic level, of course, we need a lot of piti, a lot of joy in the object. But when we want to attain a higher level, especially jhana, the 4th jhana, the 5th jhana, no piti, right? If you have a craving to that piti, you cannot attain the higher jhana. So therefore, piti is necessary, but we have to make sure that not to crave for it, right? Not to crave for it. So that is the sex piti. It is translated in different ways. Bhikkhu body used as a zest. And Shwezan Aung from Myanmar, and he used a pleasurable interest and joyful satisfaction, joy, rapture, like this, right? But when we learn jhana, when we read suttas, so Bhikkhu body usually translate as a rapture when we write in when we translate jhanas. But of course, the rapture is fit as a jhana factor to translate like this, but may not be wide enough to cover its all nuances. So therefore, we follow zest, right? Bhikkhu Bodhi translation. So that is a zest, right? Zest. So we need zest to do something, wherever you do, whether you are doing good or bad, right? Good or bad. So therefore, zest doesn't associate with hatred-rooted consciousness, right? Also doesn't associate with upekha, neutral. Zest doesn't associate with the upekha, right? So later we will learn this one. Next one is a desire. I think we have learned even the first chapter. Jhana means desire to act, desire to do. Therefore, it can be good and bad. Desire to do wholesome thing is good. Desire to do unwholesome thing is bad, right? Quite clear. I think it's no need to explain, right? So we have desire to do good, that is good. Sometimes we have desire to do bad, that's bad, right? So therefore, desire can be kusala and akusala, right? Desire doesn't associate with 80 rootless consciousness, right? 80 root consciousness. The moment you have unconsciousness, receiving, investigating, determining, you don't have any desire to do. Not only you have a jhana level, you have desire, right? So therefore, I think whether you like it or not, Abhidhamma is very helpful to understand our state of mind, very detailed and very precise, right? According to Abhidhamma, a jhana is a desire to do something either good or bad. So lobha is totally negative. According to Abhidhammata Sangha, right? Therefore, negative jhana and lobha are similar. They are the same. They are the same, right? So they are similar. They're similar. According to Abhidhamma, right? Now, up to now, we finish 6 occasions, right? 6 occasions. Now we finish 30. Comment to the others. So inya samana cetasika. So inya samana cetasika, they associate both good and bad consciousness, right? Good and bad consciousness. Look at the jhana, right? So if we have desire to do good, it associates with the wholesome consciousness. If desire to do bad, it will associate with unwholesome consciousness. So therefore, they are called inya samana. Comment to the others. Okay. Volition and desire. Different. Suppose you have a desire to go holiday trip, right? Desire to go to Thailand. Then you motivate or you force yourself to do it. That is cetana, volition, right? Volition, I think we can also translate as a motivation. We're trying to motivate to go to Thailand. Sometimes you might have desire to go to Thailand. You do nothing. But if you have cetana or volition, you motivate. You do in many ways, right? So therefore, cetana is very important. Without Chetana, you cannot go, right? You cannot go. Okay, let's go to next level. 40 unwholesome mental factors. So we have 40 unwholesome mental factors. So we have 12 unwholesome chaita, right? So here 40. So there are 40 unwholesome mental factors. So they are negative mental states and emotions that create negative effects in our day-to-day life. We have a lot of bad consequences in our day-to-day life. That means we have a lot of negative emotions in our mind, right? It's reflection of negative mental state, right? Number 1, delusion or ignorance. Number 2, shamelessness, ahirika. Number 3, fearlessness of wrongdoing, anuttapa. Number 4, restlessness, uddhacca. So as you know, this chapter is my favorite one. The reason is that by studying mental factors, we understand our state of mind. We understand psychology of the people. If you really study well, the Buddha normally teaches good things by showing negative things, right? Even Nibbana, departure from craving, right? By explaining negative way, right? If you can depart from craving, that's Nibbana, like this. So here also, by understanding unwholesome mental state, then we can try to avoid them, right? Trying to avoid them. So these unwholesome mental states are very important. Delusion, shamelessness, and fearlessness of wrongdoing, and restlessness. So these 4 mental factors are called unwholesome universes because they associate with any type of unwholesome chaitas. Unwholesome universes. We have 12 unwholesome chaita, right? So these 4 unwholesome mental factors were associated with all the 12 unwholesome chaitas. So therefore they are called unwholesome universes. So the rest are called unwholesome occasions because they do not associate with all type of unwholesome consciousness. So when you are talking about hatred, so hatred doesn't associate with greed-rooted consciousness, like this, right? So the rest are called unwholesome occasions. So they associate with unwholesome chaita occasionally, right? Number 5, greed, wrong view, conceit, or egocentric comparison, hatred, jealousy, avarice, remorse or worry, sloth and torpor, and doubt. So these are 40 unwholesome mental factors, right? So we will learn today. Number 1, delusion, moha. Actually, we have learned in the first chapter. So we will repeat it again, right? Actually, the moha is very important. So therefore, if you understand moha, you understand wisdom, according to Buddhism, right? The moha, delusion. Amoha, non-delusion. Amoha is nothing but wisdom, right? Or panya in Buddhism. So the word moha derived from the root muha. So like in monshati, so that means to bewilder or to confuse. So when you have delusion in your mind, you confuse to decide whether it is good or bad, right? To decide whether it is the real or false. force, right? Like this. So you confuse to do it. That's delusion. So therefore, I think Bhikkhu body normally translate moha as a delusion, right? It is synonym of avijja, ignorance. In dependent originations, we use avijja, right? Avijja paccaya sankhara. And Four Noble Truths, we use avijja. And many saw that the Buddha very often use avijja. The importance of wisdom, right? So avijja comes from the root art and wheat, which means not knowing or not understanding. Not knowing the things in their true natures, right? So therefore, moha and avijja are the same, but different definitions, right? Different definition. So based on avijja, we will learn today moha or avijja. So as stated in Sammaditthi Sutta, moha or avijja can be understood in following way. Number one, not knowing unwholesome deed, or not knowing unwholesome and wholesome deed. So if you do not know unwholesome deed as the unwholesome deed, if you do not know wholesome deed as a wholesome deed, that is avijja, that is moha, delusion. If you think that killing is good, that means you have a delusion, right? If you think that committing sexual misconduct is good, that means you have a delusion. If you think that stealing is good, because you get it. If you think that, that's a delusion, right? So you do not understand unwholesome deed as the unwholesome deed. You think that dana, sila, bhavana are not good, right? Not good. So if you think that, that is delusion. Not knowing wholesome and unwholesome deed. That's the first level, right? A very basic level. So if we have this knowledge, that means we are eco-Buddhist. Eco-Buddhist. In commentary, we use it Kamma Sakata Samadhi, knowing the ownership of karma. Ownership of karma, right? That is the Kamma Sakata Samadhi. And number two level is higher, not knowing the root of unwholesome and wholesome deed. So if you do not understand lobha, dosa, moha, that means you have a ignorance. Lobha, moha, right? If you know that if delusion arises in your mind, you know it, right? That means in your mind you don't have a delusion. Knowing the root of unwholesome and wholesome deed. Sometimes, if we are doing unwholesome deed, we know that it arises out of anger, right? It arises out of greed, out of delusion. We know it. So that means you don't have a moha, right? By that time. Mostly we do not know. Not knowing the root of unwholesome and wholesome deed. It's more difficult, right? More difficult. And next one is not knowing Four Noble Truths. It's a higher. So if you read this level, you are advanced Buddhist. Not eco-Buddhist. Very advanced, right? If you reach this level, I think you can able to, bear all the difficulty in your life. Because you know what is it, right? Four Noble Truths. Is higher. If you have this level, number one level, when you really encounter with the difficulty in your life, you cannot stand, right? You cannot bear it. Only when you reach number three level, if you know impermanence as a impermanent, right? Suffering as a suffering, non-self as a non-self. if you read this label, even you do not become noble ones, even you are Puthojana, you'll be able to bear all the difficulty in your life because you know the actual nature of things, right? If you are just a normal Buddhist, difficult to, when you have a very serious problem, and you might turn to other religions, right? So your faith is not, not firm, right? Not firm. As long as life is easygoing, that is still okay, right? But life, if you encounter a very difficult situation, only you read this label, only you know the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths in conceptual level, not actual level, right? So if you know actual level, you become Sotapanna. Conceptual level, what I mean is, by reading, by learning, by listening, right? Then conceptually you understand. So everything is impermanent, right? Like this. So if you read this label, that your faith to Triple Chain is firm, right? Firm. The next one, not knowing dependent originations. It's similar to number 3. Actually, dependent origination is more difficult, of course. It's a very dependent origination and Four Noble Truths are not different, right? Not different, the same. So actually, I have explained in my Sutta class. So dependent origination means with 2 methods, right? Arising and cessation method. So arising method talk about second Noble Truths. The cessation method talk about the third Noble Truths, right? So therefore, Four Noble Truths and dependent originations are not the same, not different, not different. So if you know, number 1, unwholesome deed as the unwholesome deed, that means you don't have moha. If you think that unwholesome deed as the wholesome one, that means you have moha, right? Then number 2, not knowing the root of unwholesome and wholesome is much more difficult, right? So we know mental labor, right? Mental labor. And number 3 is highest. Number 3 and number 4 are highest. Not knowing Four Noble Truths, right? Moha means you confuse, right? Your mind is confused. You cannot decide whether whether it is good deed or bad deed, right? You cannot decide the nature of phenomena. So that is moha. I think avijja is much more. I think easy to understand. Not knowing, right? Avijja means not knowing things in their actual nature. Not knowing as it is. So that is avijja, right? A different level of moha. Any question? Okay. Dependent origination, to make it simple, dependent origination means how suffering arises. It's study of how suffering arises. And study of how suffering stop. Only 2 things, right? 2 things. Of course, the karma theory is one of them. Then we can also learn the karma theory in dependent originations, right? So it's only a part of dependent originations. So actually it is a very higher level, not for normal Buddhists, advanced Buddhists, right? Advanced Buddhists. I think we should know dependent originations. Very simple, I think. Very simple one. If we know it correctly. Not difficult. But if we know and if we can apply in our daily life, we'll be able to bear our difficulties, our problems. We know it. There's no controller outside, right? It happens according to depending on causes, right? Because of this one, because of this one. So therefore, many scholars always pinpoint, highlight the importance of dependent origination by showing that there is no any creator that create our suffering, that create our happiness. No one is created. Nothing is created. We created ourselves, right? We created our suffering. We created our happiness, right? So that is the core point of dependent originations. So when you read Visuddhimagga, you will know it. There's no creator God that create your suffering or your happiness. You created yourself, right? Like this. So therefore, in many suttas, the Buddha points out the importance of wisdom or importance of amoha, right? Amoha. Bhikkhus, it is through not understanding, not penetrating, that is delusion or awaja, right? Not understanding, not penetrating the Four Noble Truths that I, as well as you, had for a long time ran on and gone round the cycle of birth and death. That's from Mahaparinibbana Sutta. In many sutta as well, the Buddha pinpoint this one. Not knowing, right? Because we have a moha, we have a vaja. That's higher level, right? Four Noble Truths. But of course, as a normal Buddhist, if you do not know what is good, right, as a good, what is bad as a bad, that means you'll be moha, right? Moha. That if you know what is good as a good, what is bad as a bad, you don't have moha. But of course, in higher level, you may still have a moha regarding with the Four Noble Truths, right? So we have to learn and we have to read and we have to examine it, right? To remove delusion. So moha is the root of all evils. It is a direct opposite to wisdom. The root of all evils. Because we are doing bad deed, we have a moha, right? So everything is the root of evil deed. So in Samyutta Nikaya, and the Buddha said that bhikkhus, ignorance is the forerunner in the entry upon unwholesome states. With the shamelessness and fearlessness of wrongdoing follow along. So ignorance is the door to do unwholesome deed, right? Because we have ignorance, we do not know. So therefore we do unwholesome deed. So therefore it is the entry upon the unwholesome state. Together with ignorance, together with the moha, we have shamelessness, ahirika. We have fearlessness of wrongdoing, anuttapa, following along. For an unwise person, immersed in ignorance, so they have wrong view, right? Wrong view spring up. Because of avaja, we have a wrong view, maitateti. For one of wrong view, a wrong intention spring up. If we have a wrong view, and wrong intention will spring up, right? So if we have a wrong view, we have a wrong speeches, wrong action, wrong livelihood, wrong effort, wrong mindfulness. For one of wrong mindfulness, wrong concentration spring up, right? So therefore, not knowing, avijja, or delusion, moha, is the entry upon unwholesome deed, right? The door to unwholesome deed. So based on ignorance, we have a wrong view. Based on that, wrong intention. Based on that, wrong speed, wrong action, wrong life, everything, right? So therefore, delusion is very important. The root of all evil, right? The root of all evil. I hope you understand, right? Moha. So next one is a shamelessness, right? So if we have a delusion, we also have shamelessness along with this, right? The Sutta said that shamelessness and also fearlessness of wrongdoing. What is shamelessness? Shamelessness is a mental attitude or shamelessness to do unwholesome deed. So when it is in mind, there is no self-respect. Sometimes you do not have self-respect, then you do unwholesome deed. Some people have a self-respect. This respect themselves. They do not do anything. So therefore, the Buddha, one of the qualities of the Buddha is arahant, right? So arahant has so many definitions. So one of the definitions is the Buddha do not do any unwholesome deed, even in secret place. Right? He has shame to do unwholesome deed, right? Even in secret, nobody around, he do not do any wrongdoing because he has self-respect, right? So normally people who have self-respect do not do anything wrongdoing, right? Lack of self-respect is the proximate cause of shamelessness. So actually this shamelessness along with the delusion, right? If you have delusion, we have a shamelessness. That's very important, I think, right? Very important one. The next one is the fearlessness of wrongdoing. Normally, these two are together. So shamelessness of wrongdoing is a mental attitude of fearlessness to commit any evil deeds. So the difference is no respect for others. So shamelessness, respect for ourselves. We have a respect for ourselves. Therefore, we are not doing any wrongdoing. But sometimes we look at our parents, right? We look at our temple. We look at our children. So therefore, you avoid doing unwholesome deed. That is fearlessness of wrongdoing. You respect for others, right? Because of your teacher, you're not doing unwholesome deed, right? If you are doing unwholesome deed, your parents will not be, happy, right? Your children will not be happy. Because of that, you're not doing unwholesome deed. So the difference between these two is shamelessness, respect for ourselves. Fearlessness, respect for others. And also, you have fear of consequences of evil deed. Therefore, you're not doing. That is uttapa. It's not nuttapa. Uttapa, right? Uttapa. No respect for others. No fear of consequences of evil deed. Therefore, you do it, right? You do it. You dare to do it. Some people bare faces, telling lie, right? And stealing. So they do not have they are not afraid of consequences, right? Consequences. Some people are afraid to go to jail. So therefore, they avoid doing unwholesome deed. So they don't have this one, fearlessness of wrongdoing, right? Some people are not afraid to do unwholesome deed. to kill other people, to steal, right? Then they go to jail. Because they have this fearlessness around doing, right? They do not have any respect to others. No concentration, right? Concentration at all. Not difficult, right? Not difficult. I think it is very important. These two qualities are very important. Later you will know it, right? We call it the opposite of these two is a moral shame, right? You have a moral shame to do unwholesome deed. That's a good quality. So you have fearlessness, right? Fear. You have fear to do unwholesome deed. That is a good thing, right? Good things. So, number 4, restlessness, uddhacca. Restlessness, uddhacca. So it makes the mind unsteady. And wind, as wind makes the flag ripple. So the wind, if the wind blows, the flag is wavering, right? Just like that. Because of a lot of objects, our mind is not stable, moving here and there, right? That is restlessness, uddhacca. If it is in our mind, we cannot see the object clearly. If the screen is only shaking, you cannot see the what, right? If my hand is shaking, you cannot see what is in my mind, in my hand, right? Just like that. If we have a restlessness, if we are restless, we cannot see everything very clearly. It is the opposite of samadhi. So therefore, we need to meditate to have a stable mind. The very first attempt of meditation is to reduce the amount of restlessness, right? Then you cultivate concentration through mindfulness. That if your mind is concentrated, you reduce the amount of restlessness, right? That your mind is getting stable and still. Then you can see the object very clearly, right? So that therefore, restlessness is an opposite of samadhi. So if we can reduce the amount of uddhacca, then we can see the object very clearly. So if you can see the object very clearly, you know what is it, right? You know what is it. So that is the restlessness. Any question? No question, right? So these 4 are called unwholesome universes because they associate with any unwholesome consciousness, right? Consciousness. That means if you have unwholesome consciousness, so you have a 4, right? These 4. The number 5, greed, lobha. That is very important one to know, right? Greed. Greed is like a super glue. It grabs the object family, right? That's the characteristics of greed. If we see something, we grab it. We cannot let go, right? We cannot renounce. When we hear something, it's sound, right? We grab it and we cannot let go. So that is the nature of greed. And when we eat something, we cannot renounce it, right? Cannot let go. It grabs or cling to it, right? It's the nature of lobha. So therefore, if we try to grasp one thing, our mind is intense, not free, right? Our mind is not free. When we let go, our mind is very free, right? Very free. So therefore, lobha, to know about the nature of lobha is very important. We have been learning the nature of lobha for a long time, right? For a long time. Sometimes we use attachment, sometimes craving, clinging, lust, left with the stream attached. Not metta, right? Here, not metta. Love can be two types, a pure love and impure love. Here, love with the stream attached. Are some of these synonyms of lobha. There are many more. So negative desire can also be called lobha, right? So therefore, when you see a lot of translation here, that is attachment. Sometimes we translate lobha as the attachment, right? Craving, clinging, like this, right? In the dependent originations, upadana is translated as a grasping, right? Is a deeper level of lobha, right? Deeper level of lobha. So that is a type of lobha as well, right? It is the original all type of suffering. In the Four Noble Truths, the second one is lobha, right? Second one is lobha. The original all type of suffering. According to Abhidhamma, I will say that. According to Abhidhamma, second Noble Truth is lobha. Dosa and moha are added in the first Noble Truth, right? According to Abhidhamma. So we have different stages of craving, different stages of lobha. So as I said, second Noble Truth is lobha. Is a craving, tanha, right? So we have a different stages of lobha. So we have learned in previous lessons, the second time, right? Repetition. Craving, greed, lust, clinging, desire, attachment, grasping, all these are lobha, right? Number one, sensory craving. Kama tanha or kama raga. So that's number one. Number two, five material craving. Rupa tanha or rupa raga, right? Five material. And third one, immaterial craving, immaterial jhana craving, right? Arupa tanha or arupa raga. This can be stated in Singiti Sutta or Metta Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. And the last one is Nibbana craving. If you see Nibbana craving, it is really confusing, right? So therefore, I have to give reference. So in the Bhikkhuni Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, so it is used as a Nibbana tanha. Onaba Brahmana Sutta, so Nibbana craving is used as a Nibbana chanda. So if you read these two suttas, so we can learn Nibbana craving, right? But this is normally not teaching in Theravada Abhidhamma. In Theravada. Normally, if we use Nibbana craving, the monks will not like it. So therefore, need to give the citation. Otherwise, it's confusing, right? So anyway, according to these two suttas, we also have a Nibbana craving, right? If you look at this one, even you look at number two, five material craving, you crave for rupa jhana. It's really good, right? It's really good. If we look at from the bottom, it's good. Why not? Immaterial craving, much more better, right? Nibbana craving, the best, right? Why not? We crave for Nibbana what we try, right? and we practice, then we attain Nibbana, right? So these are different stages of craving. This is in accordance with the suttas, right? Sensory craving, fine material craving, and immaterial craving, right? So we have a different level of craving, Nibbana craving. The number one, sensory craving. So we have craving and greed connected with the senses. So as you know, we have six senses, right? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind, right? The mind. So we have craving based on those senses. So that is called sensory craving. So this craving can be divided into two. Number one, sensory craving in misconduct level. Docharita. Sensory craving in misconduct level. The example, number one, desire to steal property of other people. Craving to see the property of other people. It is misconduct, right? It's not your property. It's not belong to you. Belong to other people. If you have sympathy, if you have a good sense of mind, right? You don't steal it. It's misconduct. It's craving regarding with the senses. When you see something you like it, craving to buy it, right? Craving to it. Then you trying to steal the property of other people. That is craving in misconduct level, right? Another example, desire to commit sexual misconduct. So you have a desire to commit sexual misconduct. That is misconduct, right? That's misconduct. Not belong to you, belong to other people. So that is connected with the senses. That craving is connected with the senses. Sensory craving in misconduct level. So we have a lot of misconduct, right? Normally we have 10 type of misconduct, right? 3 bodily and 4 verbally and 3 mentally. So based on that, if you have a craving, that means sensory craving in misconduct. In one sutta, the Buddha used as a Visama Loba. Visama means unrighteous, Loba means greed, right? These Loba are unrighteous greed. Not proper greed, right? Another one is a sensory craving in normal level. Normal level. We have a lot of craving regarding with the senses, based on the senses. Number one, example, desire to eat a delicious food. Of course, yes, we have a lot of desire to eat delicious food. As long as you're not stealing, right? As long as that exists, you are, income, right? Let's stay in normal level, right? It's okay, why not? Desire to eat it delicious. We are talking in normal level, not higher level, right? Normal level, it's okay, why not? If you are a good Buddhist, you can stay enjoying delicious food, right? If you want to become advanced Buddhist, you have to control it. So therefore, we have to know our level and our stages, right? If you become advanced Buddhist, have to control your tongue, right? Your tongue. Another one, sexual desire with one's own partner. That's also sensory craving in normal level. It's quite normal, right? Quite normal. If you are a good Buddhist, it's okay, why not? But if you want to become advanced Buddhist, you have to stay away from it, right? Celibacy, right? Celibacy. The next one, desire to become rich, desire become successful, desire to become famous. Some people say that Buddhism reject to trying to be rich, right? To trying to become famous or successful, right? At the normal level, look at this one, normal level. Normal level is good, right? Why not? You can try to be rich, right? Nothing wrong with this. As long as it is not misconduct level, still good, right? It's good. Therefore, we can divide sensory craving as a two, right? So number two, sensory craving in normal level is used as a samadloba. Samadloba means greed. It is righteous. Righteous greed, right? Sorry? Righteous, actually the greed is not good. What we understand, right? But the Buddha himself used samadloba. Righteous. It is quite normal, right? To do it. It's quite normal desire to eat delicious food, right? If you are in normal puthojana. Puthojana, right? If you want to become, of course, a higher level, you have to also try to control sensory craving as well, right? Desire for, regarding with the successful and famous, right? In Samyutta Nikaya, we have one chapter. It is called Labha Sakkara. Labha means something to get, right? Regarding with the material things, right? You have material things. Sakkara means famous, success, popularity, like this, right? In that chapter, the Buddha said that bhikkhus trying to avoid labha sakkara, trying to avoid. Don't try to become famous. Don't try to have, how to say this, successful. They are hindrances for the higher achievement. Talking to the monks, right? Not actually, if we talk to normal people like this teaching, people might say that Buddhism is pessimistic. It's not like that. The word is talking. It will be hindrances for higher achievement, higher attainment. In this level, sensory craving level, quite normal, right? You can try to be rich, to become successful. So we have to understand our level, right? Our level. Of course, if you do not have any desire to become rich, any desire to become successful or famous, that's good, right? That's good. Not with the laziness. Some people are lazy, right? I don't want to become rich because they're lazy. Not like this, right? So they were trying their best. The Buddha, of course, the Buddha went to many places, right? And the Buddha preached, how to say, the Buddha attracts so many people, right? Actually, his intention is out of compassion, right? To share what he knows, and people will understand his teaching. That's all, right? No desire to become famous, no desire to accumulate a lot of followers, right? So therefore, we have to understand a different level of teaching, right? Otherwise, it's confusing. So therefore, the reason why I give a series of a different level of craving is to understand, right? To understand. Even number one, sensory craving. So sensory craving in normal level is quite normal. Then you can do so, right? You can enjoy, right? You can enjoy sensual pleasures. Nothing wrong with this, as long as it is not misconduct level. Number two, desire for meditative bliss before you attain jhana, right? Before you attain jhana, It also can be attached sensory craving, right? The next one, 5 material craving. So during and after you attain 5 material jhana, then you enjoy, right? That is 5 material craving. Craving for the life for rupa existence. So you want to become a Brahma, right? You want to be a rebirth in the Brahma realm. So that is called 5 material craving. The third one, immaterial craving. So when you reach this level, you don't want material things at all. You don't want material things at all. Craving for tranquil bliss during and after arupa jhana. Then you have a craving to become a Brahma, the life for arupa existences, right? That is a higher level. Very often I explain that meditative bliss, you don't need anything, right? Just sit down and focus on your meditation object. Then you will be bliss, right? For sensory craving, we need a lot of supporting factors, right? We need a lot of things to see, a lot of things to hear, right? We need a lot of supporting. Those supporting senses are not satisfactory. Our happiness is gone, right? No happiness at all. So therefore, 5 material craving, immaterial craving are much better than sensory one, right? And the last one, Nibbana craving. Of course, desire for Nibbana is immense to attain Nibbana. Without that desire, one cannot achieve the bliss of Nibbana. It is the best desire. Sometimes we confuse, right? We need to remove desire, right? We always say like this. Of course, if you can remove desire, it's good. But we have to understand according to the stages, right? Different level of stages. Even such a noble desire has to be abandoned when you attain Nibbana. Actually, I have explained it with the simile of a, I forgot that word, rope, raft, right? Oh no, raft. Yeah. Mr. Chin, you want to explain? I no need. I think you understand. So we have a stream, right? But this part, this shore is very dangerous. A lot of wild enemies. Then you trying to escape. You trying to cross the other shore. The other shore is safe, right? So there is a very big tree on this shore. And you using a vine, right? A vine, then you swing your body. The later you know that you can cross the other shore by swinging your body. But if you have attachment to that vine, you cannot cross, right? You cannot cross. Vine is nothing but craving to attain Nibbana. Even that very beautiful desire have to be abandoned when you attain Nibbana, when you want to attain Nibbana, right? So therefore, even such a noble desire has to be abandoned when attain Nibbana. So by using that vine, then you let go of that vine, then you ride the other shore. The other shore is nothing but Nibbana, right? Nibbana. So therefore, Venerable Ananda compares that desire with the desire to visit a park. So you have desire to visit Sentosa, right? That when you reach Sentosa, desire to visit Sentosa is subsided, no more, right? If you still have that desire, you have a, how to say, you're not happy, you'll not be happy, right? What I want to say is a desire to attain Nibbana, even that one have to be abandoned when you attain Nibbana, right? So therefore, we have a question, is craving for Nibbana bad? No, right? But yes, if we are talking in a higher level, in total view, right? If we are looking at from the Nibbana point of view, it's also bad, right? It's also bad. So therefore, even desire have to be abandoned when attain Nibbana. This is a Onnaba Brahmana Sutta. You can look at this Sutta, right? If you want to know more about this one. Then another Sutta, Bhikkhuni Sutta, Venerable Ananda said that independent on craving is to be abandoned. So here, craving to attain enlightenment. So only you have a craving to attain enlightenment, you try hard. But if you become arahant, that craving is subsided. Right? So therefore, craving to become arahant or craving to attain Nibbana, they are also not good. Right? But we need to have such type of craving before we attain Nibbana, before we become arahant. Right? So therefore, we have a different level of craving. The sensory craving, the two type, good and bad, right? Good and bad. And we have a fine material, immaterial, and craving for Nibbana. The different level of greed, right? The craving and greed are the same. Any question? I think no question, right? Then let's close. Excuse me, one announcement.
Okay, just an announcement about Pinapata on the 9th of August, National Day. So at this moment, we have altogether invited about 8 monks, right? So for those who wanted to give, do offering, personal offering of a requisite to the monks, you can prepare about 8 sets, right? Because I think the last announcement was 6 monks, so now we have about 8 monks. This is not compulsory, it's up to individual. Just in case you think you want to offer some requisite for the monks, so you prepare for about 8 sets. Right? The Pinapata will start at 10:15. And if you are bringing any food, cooked food, please use disposable utensil or containers. If you want to use, save the world, to recycle, you can bring your own containers, but bring home to wash. Cannot wash here. Right? If you are bringing fruits, please cut them, remove the seed, wash them. Okay? Thank you. Let's chant the Chatta Manavagata. Yo vada tampavaro manu Jesu Sakya muni bhagava kata gicho paragato bala viriya samangi tam sugatam saranatamu pemi raga viragama nejama soka Dhamma sankatama patikulam madura mimam pagunam suvibata Dhamma mimam saranatamu pemi Yata cha dinama palamahu Jatusu suci su purisa yogesu Attacha pugala dhammastasate Sangami mam saranatamu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.